Hey, I don't know how you think about this, but The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is, at least in my opinion, one of the greatest video games of all time. Especially considering the date of its release back in 1998, which was almost 23 years ago. Twitter is heating up again, and maybe we can expect an Ocarina of Time remake for the Nintendo Switch next year. Time for rumors, so let's talk about it. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video to support me if you like. Thank you. Okay, so what is going on with Nintendo and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time at the moment? Not only me, but also many people out there are huge fans of Ocarina of Time. Without any doubts, it's a milestone of gaming history and emphasized the already legendary position of the Zelda franchise in the gaming world. 13 years after its original release on the Nintendo 64, Ocarina of Time received a Nintendo 3DS remake with better graphics, at least as good as graphics can be on a 3DS, slightly better controls and a few other upgrades which enhanced the gameplay experience in general. Of course, there came up some voices after the Nintendo Switch release who thought about a second remake of Ocarina of Time, but it was quite obvious that this won't happen too soon. With The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Nintendo brought up a huge flagship for the Zelda series, and it was quite clear that there won't be much following up in the next few years. The, in my opinion, extremely good remake of Link's Awakening was a little snack for all Zelda fans in the meantime. With this game, Nintendo showed what they are capable of in terms of remaking classics, and also I thought about an Ocarina of Time remake on this graphic level. I mean, this would be insane. Actually, there are already some famous Ocarina of Time versions which were developed with the Unreal Engine, and have a look, I mean, they look amazing. So what about the rumors about the Switch remake? Well, in the end of July, the Twitter user Kelios posted a screenshot of an interesting license renewal. Nintendo renewed the license of the name Ocarina of Time for another 10 years until 2030 in Europe and Australia. And actually, to be really exact, this has just not been a renewal of an already existing brand name, but a whole new registration. And this is an especially important information, because renewing licenses is nothing special in general and it's a common thing for big companies to keep their rights on a brand name. But a new registration means, or at least could mean, that there might come up something really cool in the future and that there might be a whole new release of this brand, in this case Ocarina of Time for a Nintendo Switch, because it's a completely new developing process. At this point, I just want to remind you, we are talking about rumors. Obviously, I can't foresee what Nintendo is going to publish or work on. The only thing I can do is hoping that the rumors are true. Okay, so there is this new license registration for Europe and Australia, but what reasons are left? Why should there be a remake? Well, it's kinda the same as with the Super Mario remakes which were leaked in March this year. Was it in March? I don't know actually. 2021 will be the 35th anniversary for the Legend of Zelda series. On 21st of February 1986, Nintendo released The Legend of Zelda for the NES, and that could be a reason for Nintendo to celebrate this special year with a special release. For example, Ocarina of Time in modern graphics and actually good controls and quality of life upgrades. Also, with Breath of the Wild there joined a lot of new Zelda fans, and many of them might be averse to the old, clunky graphics of the original N64 game, or they don't want to play on the 3DS, or both. And emulating the 3DS version on your PC is also not the most elegant way to enjoy a true classic like Ocarina of Time, although it's still better and more enjoyable to play than the original N64 game in my opinion. With Link's Awakening, Nintendo earned many positive critics, and now they know that we, the community, really enjoy those remakes. As you can see, there are plenty of reasons for Nintendo to work on an Ocarina of Time remake. So what about you? Would you like to see another remake for the Nintendo Switch? And did you play Ocarina of Time back then on the N64 or 3DS? Feel free to drop a comment. On the other hand, the release of Breath of the Wild 2 is already set for 2021 next year. It's kinda questionable if Nintendo would release two giants like Breath of the Wild 2 and Ocarina of Time in the same year, especially because Nintendo usually is a little reserved with their bigger series, except for Super Mario. I mean, have a look at Animal Crossing, it took almost 8 years for another release, and also Zelda games don't come out regularly. Well, in the end the registration is only one small hint for Remake and definitely more dreaming than real facts. Also, we haven't heard anything new about the Super Mario 64, Sunshine and Galaxy remakes so far, which is kinda sad because it's early August already and I really need to play those games on my Switch. So this was either just a fake leak or a clever way to join in the community for a big surprise this year. Anyways, I will keep you updated with any kind of remake that probably could come up for the Nintendo Switch. What do you think? Is the new registration a sign for something big or just an empty news without any proof or depth? Feel free to share your thoughts. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video and watched until this point, I want to thank you. Maybe consider subscribing to my channel so you won't miss my new videos and my live streams. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Bye.